All right. Looks like we are live. We are live streaming. If you can see my screen share, go ahead and type in the comment. I see you. We're going to be getting started here in a minute. Get some folks tuning in and kicking off our 5 day reviews challenge. We are kicking off our 5 day reviews challenge, day 4. Day 4 in the making. If you're tuning in here, you're returning, you've watched last few sessions of these live, please go ahead and comment returning live. Let me know if you've been returning and this is your 4th live in a row. If you've watched 2 in a row, go ahead and please share. If you've watched 2 in a row, 3 in a row, please let us know. And we are going to be getting into some fun raffle winners, going over what our agenda is ahead. Just got to share this here in a few different areas, and we will be ready to go. If you're tuning in for the first time, go ahead and type in the comments, first time viewer. Go ahead and type in the comments, first time viewer. If you are not yet a customer, or if you do not yet have a trial, go ahead and type in more info about a trial, more info about a trial, or how do I get a 30-day trial? Let us know that you're new by letting us know that you want some information about the trial. We'll get you that information to you. And I got some great goodies here to share that we didn't get to share yesterday. So I have some great things to share with you that those that are taking part in this challenge will be able to start using right away to attract new customers, to convert them, and to nurture them. So I'll be showing you all of that here shortly. Just got to go to one more area. If you're tuning in on YouTube, we'll be watching the comments on YouTube. If you're tuning in on the Facebook Live business page, we'll be looking at those comments. If you're watching from one of our groups, we'll keep an eye on it, but most of our engagement is going to be on our main page, from the live on our main page. So please comment on that main facebook.com/high-level-reviews business page. And that will get you the answers as well as your chance to win some swag. All right? Awesome. We're good to go here. Looks like we have folks chiming in. Please post where you're tuning in from, what part of the world, city, state, zip code, area code, whichever you prefer. And without further ado, let's get into it. So today is day 4, specifically around onboarding and service fulfillment. So yesterday in our day 3, we went over sales, acquisition, meeting people, walking them through a demo, sharing with them what we offer, and earning the business, right? And we went into all those details. And if by now you have not had a chance, you want to make your way into the membership course and go ahead and watch the membership course videos, because that will give you additional structure and support to bring the live and the playbook together, right? So today's agenda is pretty straightforward here. We're going to go over the account setup. So I just want you to imagine here, our customer says yes. What do we need to do as the service provider on our side? So we need to set up the account, set up the users, prepare our agenda for our onboarding call. And whether the onboarding call is the next day, 2 days later, we want to have the onboarding call within 72 hours. So we want to prepare that. And then depending if we're going to do onboarding in person or virtually, we'll walk through some of those scenarios. And then while we are there in person or virtually doing the walkthrough, we want to go over the reputation management feature and actually show them how it works. Show them what's going to happen, right? So that's going to be very important. So we're going to knock out those 3 items first and foremost, right? So before we get into this here, I do want to go ahead and let me just make an adjustment here. I do want to make a couple quick announcements that we have here. So yesterday we had an amazing time. We had a bunch of folks go ahead and engage with us, comment, share feedback, share their energy. We appreciate that. And with that, we made a commitment to you that we were going to give away some prizes. So for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, if you comment on our Facebook Live, if you comment on our YouTube Live, you share feedback, questions, help one another, you enter to win automatically, and we'll be pulling a winner. So yesterday's winner, drum roll please, is in the comments below. Jordan is putting yesterday's winner in the comments below. Help me congratulate them. Give them some emojis, some nice words of encouragement. Congratulations for winning our contest yesterday and participating. And if you're not yet on High Level, we have a special offer for you. Because we're already 4 days in, there is a little bit of a learning delay because we've been going over all of this the last 4 days back to back. So what we will do, if you go to this link below, gohighlevel.com/5DRC offer, we will go ahead and have one of our professionals in our support team set your account to be basic operational so you're up and running and you can catch up at your own pace. So we'll handle many of the parts that take a little bit of extra time to get you up and running. If you sign up below using that link, we'll get you fast-tracked as quick as possible, right? Awesome. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about onboarding, right? So again, we're going to frame it where we've signed them up, we've accepted money, we're past the sales stage. Now we're in the onboarding stage, right? And if onboarding, if you have some experience with onboarding customers for marketing services, if you have experience with onboarding customers for software services, go ahead and type below that your experience. What kind of experience do you have with onboarding marketing services or software services? And if you can include in that experience, what maybe is the part that you should be aware of or look out for in the early stages, or what's a pro tip that you would like to share? Go ahead and type that below, your experience and maybe a pro tip or something to be aware of when bringing on software clients or marketing clients. And that's in the Facebook Live or the YouTube. So, with High Level and your rebrand of High Level, the best practice here is to onboard your clients within 72 hours. Right, within 72 hours, it's so important because we want to keep the excitement fresh, but we also want to start the experience of them using High Level every day, experiencing it, seeing results because of the little efforts, and as it graduates, the more they do, the more they see, right? And first impressions are very important. So, within 72 hours, maybe you send out an email, maybe you're having small chit chat, maybe there's a text message or two that's coming through because they're waiting for maybe their partner or another employee or someone that they want to be a part of the onboarding. So the biggest part here is to make sure that you have the folks that are going to be using the software as part of the onboarding experience. And what that does is it creates client trust. It shows that you aren't just trying to get this software up and running in 2 seconds. It shows that you have a vested interest in the experience and the knowledge that their team has, their business employees are going to have in making sure this works for the end result. And the end result is what? Getting more reviews, monitoring their reputation, right? Being seen more, and people having an easy way to share their experience with that business with where it matters, right? So 72 hours, that's the sweet spot. That's what we best recommend. Go ahead and type in the chat below, 72 hours. And the only exception to that, right? The only exception to that would maybe be that the power user, the person that'll always be using the system, is not available maybe for another day or two thereafter. But at the very least, within those 72 hours, you want to onboard the other parties to at least get them access into the system, and even the owner. So he or she is aware of how this looks. And then you may need to follow back up with that power user that'll need it thereafter. My best recommendation is if you do a virtual onboarding, record it. Record the virtual onboarding, because if you have video experience, you could chop it up as needed to remove the in-between chatter, or you could just use something like Loom where it'll kind of decrease the spaces that you don't want. But it also helps you for quality control, but them to go back to. And if you are in person, it doesn't hurt to load up your Zoom, hit record, and also record it from your Zoom. So there's a couple different ways to record. If you're not familiar with it, definitely feel free to ask questions and we'll get you that guidance. Right? Awesome. So, virtual onboarding, maybe what most of you will end up doing. Maybe it's something that you are trying to stay away from because you'd rather work with people in person. So there's a couple different opinions around it, but let's go over virtual onboarding and how to make it work great. So let's just say in this scenario, I sign you up, we're on the virtual Zoom. I'm going to have you have your screen or your computer, your laptop that you use all the time. So when we do virtual onboarding, we don't want them on their phone. We want them on the computer that they're going to be using most of the time, right? And the purpose of that is to have them share their screen. So as they share their screen, they're logging in. They're seeing and feeling what that looks like. You're then able to help them bookmark their pages as needed, right? So sharing the screen on their end, having them drive on their end is important so they can understand and feel what's required. Now, if in fact you need to request control, you can request control and guide them, right? With bookmarking, you want to make sure you're creating a folder on their browser and bookmark the actual app.yourdomain login page and drag it to the main screen, right? Because you want that to be easy. If they're on the laptop or the computer, you want to make sure it's easy for them to get to it right away, right? And you also, in addition, want to go ahead and bookmark and drag to the desktop the help.leadconnectorhq.com help guide. Again, we went over this on day 2. This help.leadconnectorhq help guide is the gray label version of the help guide that you have access to as our direct customers. And you want your customers to have access to the gray label so that if they have a question or a need, they can jump right on there. Now, will they? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the great news. With what you are selling them as a service, the way we've set it up within High Level is very easy and navigational friendly. So they're not going to have to go through different menus and pages. Most likely you'll set up things in addition that you want to have, but the actual feature function of the reputation management is just a few clicks. Just a few clicks, right? So the next part of this virtual onboarding, and you have to make sure you're witnessing it, you're seeing it. And you could see the bookmarking, right? But what you have to make sure you double, triple confirm is your customer downloading the mobile app. The mobile app is crucial. So what do I mean by double confirming, right? So you want to guide them while they're on their phone to go to the Apple or the Google store and make their way to the search bar in that store and type in Lead Connector. Type in Lead Connector. And when they type in Lead Connector, it will then bring them to that Lead Connector app. They then download that app. And when they download that app, they will have access to a majority, if not all, the features of the reputation management, the contacts, the notifications, the conversations from their phone. They'll also have access to make payments, collect payments, send invoices from their phone. So that app is the cash register on the run, right? Go ahead and type in the chat, app equals cash register on the run, right? And why is that important? Because although our customer is using the reputation management feature as the core service, as they understand the additional services and features that are within high level, your version of high level to them, they will want or be curious and start clicking around. And then they will ask you, how do I do this? How do I add this? How can I include this? And that app, them being on the run, allows them to still run their business. So most business owners, managers, operators, they're using their phone. Their phone is always in the side or back pocket in how they're getting things done. So as you connect their email into their app, this will become important. As you connect their texting, their payment gateway, all into the app becomes more important, right? Awesome. So best practices, right? Obviously, being on the Zoom is keep it simple. Keep it simple. Although they may be techie, although you may be techie, just keep it simple, step by step. And the goal here is as you practice a few times on your own, you have your agenda, you follow through that in a systematic manner, it'll be that much easier for them to follow along with you. You definitely want to encourage some questions, right? Ask some questions, make sure, just validate. How does this feel? Would this setting be okay with you? Would you prefer this one instead? Right? And then they'll start to have their own questions for you. And then make sure you follow up with a checklist or next steps based on how that conversation's going. So during this onboarding, you may end up having a conversation, because this will happen, where the onboarding sidetracks a bit and they become inspired about social media. They become then inspired about text blast or email blasts. So you want to make sure you're making a note to then go back to those topics or areas that they want to learn more about, right? Now, this experience, these instructions has an impact on your business and their business. You know, obviously, a smooth onboarding experience leads to a happy client, excited client. And typically, when we're happy and excited, we want to involve our friends and family. We start thinking of others that this can help. Think about the last time you bought something and it was really great. Did you think about someone close to you to say, hey, you should try this? Did you bring up that experience at a lunch, breakfast, dinner the same day or another day because everything went so perfect? That's what we're aiming for, a perfect client onboarding experience as close as possible. And what this also does is it gives your client the confidence. They start to feel like, oh, this is easier than I expected. Oh, this is easy, or this is helpful. I can do this, right? Customers that are bombarded with complicated instructions or are not given the opportunity to drive or lead the way with guidance, they end up not being power users. And power users are folks that are using the software, maybe 3 to 5 hours a day, 4 out of the 7 days out of the full week. Right? Think about this. Is there a day that goes by in your business or in your life that you don't have your cell phone with you for a whole day? Is there a time in your business or in your life that you don't ever check your text message or your email or your bank login, your bank account? Right? Whether you realize it or not, our phones are a big part of our day to day. Right? And the app is on their phone. And although they may have a bunch of apps, this app needs to stand out because it has everything to do with their business, and their business is important. So don't take onboarding as just another step. It's really that introduction to what it's going to be like working with you and your team. If you have any questions below, if you have any experiences, any tips, this is a great time. See, onboarding is and you probably notice I'm going just a little slower today. I'm going just a little bit more clear less excitement, because it's important that you understand and that I'm not over um, pumping up these slides, because onboarding, if you over pump or over excite during onboarding, the adrenaline, the excitement, the energy, they get lost. This has to be a blend of professional, engaging, interesting, fun, but structure. Because if not, you're going to be all over. You're going to be all over. And the minute they check out, they're done. And then you start seeing them check their watch, or their phone, and that's how you know you lost them. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about establishing that client confidence. And what I mean by client confidence is getting them prepared for the onboarding journey. Now, everyone has a different experience, maybe a different opinion, but you may be experiencing one or two types of these types of customers. One, a non-techie customer that's not a fan of technology, knows it's important, but they really stay away anything more than the basics. And instead of just saying completely no, they'll try a little bit, and the first speed bump or hiccup, they stop, right? So you want to make sure that you're giving this type of customer a clear introduction, walking them through the process, the agenda, and just walking them through what to expect. You then have another type of customer that's super prepared, very hands-on, has multiple employees, team members, has a well-established business, and they are just part of the business. There are others that have their hands more in it, right? So you need to really understand who you're talking to. And this could be like, for an example, you got a painter who's not tech savvy, and it's just the painter and his wife, right? So you're going to go a little bit different in how you approach it. Or you have a HVAC company with 15 employees. 5 of the employees are managers and hands-on. Those 5 will be on the call, and the CEO or the leader will be on the call as well. So there's a different structure for that one. And here's what I mean by that. A clear introduction of you to the customer and to whom it may be with them, and then have the customer and who's with them introduce themselves to you. Because you want to build familiarity and trust amongst all on the call, right? Then it's important to go over some of the goals that you established with your customer in the previous sales conversation. And then at that point, you're bringing that into the onboarding conversation, and you're aligning the sales previous notes to the onboarding notes, because there could be changes in between, and there could definitely be changes because there's new people involved on the onboarding. There's different perspectives that may pop up, different use cases. So we want to align that, and just keep in mind that this is always can always change, and it's okay. But make sure you're taking notes. Now, pro tip: if you don't prefer to use pen, paper, or keyboard, or whatever the case may be, go ahead and get yourself a transcription tool that'll record the call, and it'll type out the transcription. It'll adjust and give you the settings or the next steps. So one of those AI powered transcribing or recording notes will be very helpful, right? And if you use one of those, make sure you understand the language that it follows. So some of these softwares or these apps or these recorders, they tell you to do this, say this. So you may say something like, here's our next steps agenda. And that's like the key or phrase word that it knows to itemize that on your transcript. And then that transcript also goes to your customer. So if you're going to use these tools to help you run the meeting, make sure you understand how they work so you best take advantage of it and you don't put more time into figuring that out, right? The next is the detailed onboarding outline, right? The detailed onboarding outline will vary. Now, you'll also see that what we provide you in our collaterals is more of a general, right, way, but you may find that this service that you're bringing on is in addition to a few other services that you have already in place, and it connects in a different manner, right? So you want to make sure that the customer understands the roadmap, the use, the timeline, the purpose of what they're buying and how it works with other things. And that starts to give them more transparency and they understand why we're doing what we're doing. The why is so important. Why do I need to share my screen? Why do we need to do this onboarding call? Why do I have to give you my EIN number or my business information? Why do I need to give you my staff's emails and why do we need to add them? Be prepared with these whys because they will come up, not all at once or maybe all at once, right? So as we're doing this, there'll be parts of the business information section of high level that you'll need to gather. So, as you get familiar with the reputation management tool, maybe you've already established where do they want to get more reviews from? Maybe they want to get more reviews from Google. Well, we will need the Google Business Profile access. We can do it without the access. We could do it with the link. But if we have the access to the Google Business Profile, we'll be able to include the analytics, the monitoring, and the responding, right? So this is like, as you start to learn this and you start to create these experiences and these scenarios, one scenario may be, oh, I don't know my Google Business Profile login. Well, we can still use the service, but we have to go through the process of resetting that or reclaiming it while we set the basic function up. So this comes up a lot because they forget their Gmail account that they've used, or the Gmail account that they used is of a family member, or whatever the case may be. But we'll show you within the platform what URL code you need to grab and where you need to put it. So you could still import their contacts. You can still segment their customers, and you could still send out review requests. You're just going to be limited on the results, the insights, and the responding. But with the process that you follow to get that password reset, you'll be able to pick up right where you left off once you get the access, right? So don't stop everything because you don't have one or two pieces of information, right? And let's say they want to drive more traffic to their TripAdvisor or their Yelp or their whatever site that they want to drive traffic to, you'll need that part as the data collection, right? Next is the platform training, right? So the way that you get great at training someone is you experiencing yourself first. So whether you're non-techie or super techie, you should know where and what buttons to click and how to go about it. And we have a handful of tutorial videos. We have a handful of help docs, but there's nothing like you going in and just doing it, right? So make sure you don't forget to do it itself and don't over consume yourself with how-tos, okay? And as long as you know how, then you can walk through your clients in that systematic way, how they should get started. So your clients are going to do it the way you tell them initially to do it. Then they'll find their shortcuts or their ways that is more beneficial. So you want to make sure you're teaching them the most direct way, not having to go through extra tabs or processes, right? Perfect. If you have any questions with anything that I'm going over here, if my pace is too fast, if maybe you don't quite understand exactly what I mean, or you have really no experience in this, but you're curious on, how could you get better, or what and why are we doing what we're doing, go ahead and include those comments below. Go ahead and include any comments or questions below thus far what we're going over. All right. So next topic here. Oh, and with the platform training, it's important to not just go over the reputation management feature. When I walk through with you on a live demo briefly, you're going to notice that I'm going to go over the contact section because we need to import their contacts. I'm going to go over the smart list. I'm going to go over the tagging, right? I'm going to go over some of the follow-up, right, parts of this. Now, what I'm going to go over is some of the best practices that I've learned, that I've used, and that I've seen others use, but there's so much more outside of that, right? But we want to keep it simple and get the fastest way to the result without doing a bunch of extra items or adding extra stress while doing so, right? Awesome. So customization, high level could be customized very, very detailed, right? There's so many ways to do so many things in high level that it's very easy to go into the weeds. On your end, you may need to customize messaging. You may need to customize color and branding. You may need to customize cadence outreach, response outreach for reviews, the review response AI settings. So when I say customization, I mean particularly around what your customer's going to receive, and then that's with like their logo, their colors, their wording, and then some of the settings around how fast to respond to a review. At what point does a review go out? At what point does not a review request go out? Right? If they're an existing customer, is it within a certain amount of days? So that's the customization I'm referring to. And you'll start to figure that out based on the types of clients you have, or as you're in the 5-day reviews challenge Facebook group, people sharing stories on their settings, right? Awesome. So, ensuring long-term success, right, is really understanding what your customer expects, right? It's not what you want or what you believe, it's what your customer wants and perceives, right? So people cancel their services, right? Because I've had a bunch of cancellations in my career, right? People cancel because of the perceived indifference. Go ahead and type in the chat perceived indifference. Okay. And I'll tell you what that means. Perceived indifference can be done in many different ways, right? One, you stop communicating with your customers and they feel that you don't care about their business. That's a perceived indifference. They believe you don't care about their business because you don't talk to them, you don't send them alerts, you don't send them education, you don't even check up on them, right? Another perceived indifference is them not understanding what the platform is designed to do and why it's important for it to be done. So, again, there's a handful of customers that are understanding that reviews are key, what it does. There's a handful that are aware of the need, but don't believe it makes an impact, right? So in order to balance that perceived indifference when it comes to benefit or even value is education. Now, if you are a customer of a software product or a marketing service product, right? You'll notice that you will get frequent emails, you'll get videos, there'll be content out there. I want you early on to take notes and document your experiences as you're onboarding, whether you're beta clients, friends and family, paying clients, whomever it is. I want you to take note of their industry, what they need, how it works, and the result, because you need to create micro pieces of content, and they don't have to be fancy. They don't have to be corporate-y. You just have to record these topics, micro topics, so you can include them in your nurture campaigns. So for example, if you're a dentist and I sign you up, and I've signed up about 5 dentists, maybe my first email and video to you 24 hours later is a welcome. Doctor, welcome. I'm excited to have you. What all of our dentists really enjoy is the simplicity of using the mobile app. Now that you have the mobile app on your phone, make sure that you always jump in at least once to twice a day to get comfortable and familiar with it. What we've also seen is ABC. If you have any questions, feel free to click the link below and we can set up a time to help you with it. That's micro content 1 that goes out. Then maybe another piece goes out around the benefit of sending review requests immediately after a teeth cleaning appointment, right? Doctor, we wanted to make sure we brought you up to speed on some of the latest best practices. The benefit of asking for a review request within 4 hours of a patient leaving is ABC. And then the result of that is that it is fresh and exciting for them to leave a review to show appreciation. If you need help with this, doc, pick a link below, respond back. We'll get right back to you, right? So you want to send these micro pieces of content because they become familiar with you and your expertise stays fresh. They believe and they see the perceived understanding is this gentleman or this lady knows what they're doing. They understand. They're working with others like me. So go ahead and type in the comments below, micro videos, micro training, micro communications. Now, I recommend some short form videos. You can use programs like Loom. You can use other programs. You could do it from your phone, whichever you prefer, right? But you want to create these short micro videos, and then maybe below that, you host that video on YouTube, and then below that, you include maybe a screenshot or a walkthrough on your end. I'm going to leave the creativity up to you, but I will leave this open if you'd like. If you have a question or an idea about doing these micro pieces of content, at any time, feel free to jump in our Facebook group and ask, hey, y'all, I'm looking to do 10 pieces of micro content for my home service businesses around them signing up and thereafter to keep them in tuned or remind them what they need to do. Myself and anyone else would be more than happy to give you some ideas, right? So keep that in mind. Awesome. So that immediate value based on just that one portion becomes a boost. Now, keep in mind, we may be smaller, beginner outfits. We may be expanded, larger outfits. You may not have a 24/7 customer service line. You may not have a phone number that you prefer to give out. You may just strictly want to do email or chat. You need to iron out your support process. What is your support process going to be? Now, you get to determine that, but it's early you do it ASAP because your hours of operation, how you go ahead and have your customers communicate with you during normal business hours. You have to train that customer experience early, and that allows your customer to understand this is the best way to reach out and talk to so-and-so because they are a small business like me or because they're just starting out and they're not a big company with 24/7 support, right? So go ahead and type below in the chat, customer experience, right? Being available, how to be available, and making it clear to your customers on how they should contact you during those times. Awesome. And then always make sure, here's another pro tip, always make sure you're getting your customer, always make sure you're getting the person who paid is typically the end all be all decision maker. So make sure you have his or her cell phone number. Make sure you have his or her cell phone number. And if they put in somebody in place of them, respect that person, work with them, right? Because they're going to be either the positive or negative influencer within the relationship, and also get their cell phone number, right? We live in times of society that cell phone numbers are the new landlines. They're the new direct communication, right? Don't leave yourself up just to email. Email can go unanswered, right? So I say all of that because that will then complement smooth integration. That'll then complement support growth. So you'll need to create a welcome email, right? That matches you, right? And you may have a style that you write everything lowercase. Now, my recommendation is to leverage technology that's out there. So how many of you are comfortable or capable to get ChatGPT to create a welcome email with a tonality and the details you want it to have? How many of you feel capable or comfortable to do that? Because there's a handful of people that just don't know where to start. Like, I don't want to get too much into the storytelling here, but you know, we all are brand new to something. And think about when you were brand new to something, like you didn't know, or you didn't know what to know, right? So to us, you know, it might be easy. Oh, you just log into ChatGPT. Well, it's not the login part. It's the creativity or the process. So if you're capable and comfortable to go into ChatGPT, let me know. If you need extra help with this brainstorming or this process building, go ahead and type in the chat, need extra help, right? Because the welcome email could be a paragraph. Hey, let me pick a name here. Hey, Rudy, welcome to Super Reviews. Excited to have you here. Here are a few things that I want you to be aware of that we will be going over on our kickoff call. Please save this email. Our hours are Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. Our weekend hours are, our direct phone number is, our emergency line or after hours process is. We prefer that you visit our website /support and submit a support ticket, and we will take care of it and have someone get back to you within 10 hours. Like, you need to set you within 10 hours. Like, you need to set the process. And I want you to use maybe High Levels process as an example, or any other vendor that you've worked with that you respect their process, that you've had a good experience. Look at their process and make it just a little bit yours. It doesn't have to be custom and unique. It just has to be practical for your customer to do. Okay? Awesome. So we get that welcome email out that has the agenda overview, right? Maybe that email goes out the day they sign up or the day you set up their account. And then the kickoff meeting, they already know what they're walking into. So keep in mind, you sign up today. I take your credit card, I put it in, I create your account. That then sends out your welcome email. You get the welcome email. It tells you what to expect for our appointment on Friday at 9 a.m. And it asks you to bring whomever needs to be there to learn and get set up with the system. It goes over what we're going to go over, and it goes over what to expect thereafter. And it may even say to download the app ahead of time. And it may even say to have your Google business profile login ahead of time, right? And then at that point, you'll collect the data that we spoke about before. You'll then finalize your setup. Here's what I mean by account setup. This is where you're screen sharing and your customer is going to the integrations. They're connecting their Google business. They're connecting their Facebook, right? They're letting you know what are the other links to the profiles. And they're going ahead and connecting and then putting those links, and you're walking them through it, right? And then you have the training, right? You're doing a brief training on the platform walkthrough, what they're going to be using, where everything is, how to log in, right? How to use the app, right? A couple of best practices. And you may need training on this before you train others, but we have the training and we have the videos within the process of our software. So you'll have everything. And then, you know, you obviously want to let them know the impact and what we're doing here and why we're doing it. Then comes the hands-on training, right? So during our onboarding, it's so important to send out that first review request. So important to send out that first review request, right? So sending the review request, right? Responding to the review, and then going over the widget to put the reviews that were received on the website. Now, when we do this, this demo, I always recommend that you use your phone number. You use your phone number or your email as their first review. So have them send you the review request, whether it's through SMS or email. And then you respond to that request, leave a review. And then that automatic review response, you show them how that works thereafter, right? But you want them to see an instant result or instant response. That's why I'm saying to use your email or your phone number, right? Go ahead and type in the chat, instant results, instant results. right? And think about it, you may have you may have this customer that transferred from a larger reputation management software. Like, you're going to find really quick, ladies and gentlemen, that the customers you meet locally are using big companies out of the area. They're using the companies I shared with you earlier. They're using the Bird Eye. They're using the Podium. They're using the Grade USA. They're using the other widget or two widgets that are out in the marketplace. They're using the reputationmanagement.com. They're using these companies, right? And the reason they're going to you is because you're hyper local. You're in their town. You were referred to them. You found them. You have a connection with them. But sometimes here is where the gap is. Because they're switching to you, they automatically assume and expect that everything they're getting from the current company is what they'll get with you plus more. And if your price is just a little less than what they're paying or a lot less, they're going to expect all of that plus more for what they're paying you. So it's always important, if you have someone switching from another service, a Bird Eye, Podium, Reputation.com, Grade USA, whomever, you understand the package. I actually recommend that you say, hey, can we log into your current account? Right? Because before they cancel that account, you want them to download their customer list that's already imported. You want to make sure that they have everything from that account and they're transferring it to yours, because if they don't, they'll never get it back. Right? They'll never get it back. Right? And so what sometimes happens, and this is what I want you to keep in mind with onboarding, this is a pro tip for onboarding. You need to understand what service they have, and you might need to ask a couple of different questions to confirm, right? Because if they have another service like Bird Eye, Podium, Reputation.com, Grade USA, there's the likelihood that that company put them on another phone number. So all these platforms start with conversations like we spoke about. So they'll claim a phone number for them. They'll own the phone number for them. And that phone number is designed to keep that communication to go into the portal. So to avoid any confusion or any friction, understand what your current customer has. Do they have a number? Is it their number? Did they port the number? If they ported a number, we need to port that number to us. Or do we need to create a new number? But we want to basically decommission their existing relationship with that other companies and take everything from there by decommissioning it and downloading the Excel sheet and putting it in your company's platform to help them. Is that a helpful pro tip? Did any of you think of that? Did any of you say, I thought about that? Right? Like, I just want to know where we're at from a strategy end, because these are small things that can really help you gain credibility or lose credibility. I mean, think about this. You're working with a customer. It's a huge business. Their phone number's with one of those third-party companies I mentioned. They cancel that company. They lose their phone number, one. They lose the contact lists and information, two. And then all they have with your account is an empty stub account. They're going to be mad. And they're going to say to you, shouldn't you have known? Why didn't you tell me? That's why I'm paying you. I made the wrong choice. I should have never left. It was worth the extra $500 to stay where I was at. How horrible, and it's so frustrating, and it's heartbreaking, and it really beats you up. I learned the hard way. So I'm just sharing my experience so you could avoid that during your journey, right? Awesome. So we're going to decommission the competitor. We're going to say, hey, before you cancel, let's jump in. Let's get your contact list. Let's get your phone number. What's this phone number? Da, da, da. Let's put it in, and then boom. Even if you have to give your customer 14 days or 20 days gap to fill the extra charge or the delay charge, you do so. It is worth it, and they'll appreciate you for it, right? That's why I like to do the setup fee, because the setup fee allows me to do a delay on the monthly fee as needed. right? And there's different strategies. There's a lot of great people in our ecosystem that do things a lot different, similar, if not the same. So you are in a great place for this guidance, right? Awesome. Let's continue on. They need to stay so long on this, but this is always like the kick in the shin. Like, oh man, no one told me that. Okay. So resource sharing, we talked about this earlier on, the articles. I always recommend, right? Like, so here's where it's like a double-edged sword. And there's a lot of different opinions around this. Some companies, small, large, medium, will have like a Facebook group, right? Some will have a little mini cohort where by industry, they bring the industries together, or they couple like 3 or 4 people on a once a week or once every other week or once a month togetherness, right? Because we've learned selling software and selling high-end quality services, in order to remain sticky, you have to create a community around it. You may not have a lot of people, but you have the resources. So you want to at least bring together, whether it's in a recording, small introductions, just let people know that they're not your only customer, right? And that could be like in a testimonial, record a testimonial, or do a one-way facing training with one of your customers as a guest. Always helpful. It just keeps you fresh, and it gives people something to share, right? Gives people something to share to someone who may need or want your service. Awesome. Oh, let me just make sure I didn't forget anything here. Best practices, real client examples, step-by-step guides. Okay. Yep, we went over this already. Excellent. So we're gonna get to the little technical part here shortly, but I just want to, you can't unsee what you see here, right? So I just want you to, whether you take a screenshot of this, take a photo, whatever you prefer. This is the repetition tab overview that we're going to be reviewing live here shortly. So, we have the navigation. You'll explain this to your customer, right? And then the features. So, look, the other platforms I mentioned earlier have different UI, UX. They have a different user interface. They have a different user experience. They have different colors. They have different placements. It's important that you mention to your customer, if it comes up, that the function is the function. The function is the function, because your customer may be used to the pretty color, the style, the buttons. There may be that attachment to what they're used to seeing. Okay? And you need to make sure that you know the answer when they say, well, how come this doesn't look like what I have before? Or how come yours looks this way and not that way? Tony, it's really just user interface. Every platform is different. Because we work with home improvement contractors like yourself, the feedback and the insight that we've had as we have this software with them is that they want it simple. They're not really concerned on the fancy dancy. They want the result and the response. They want the double law, the result and the response. So look, there's ways that we can change your colors, your feel. That's no problem. But what I want to make sure is that you understand what you're paying for and the result and the response you're going to get, right? Because if it looks pretty and it does nothing, it's not going to work for you. And then a light bulb goes off in their mind. See, like with clients today, and again, I'm from the Northeast, so it is different than maybe the South, the Midwest, the West Coast. But humans are humans. And if you take the overall concept of your onboarding call, if done right, and this is based off of my opinion, my experience doing this for 8 years, in person, door to door, side by side, business by business, your onboarding call is the way that you really create a bond with your customer. It is a bond you create with your customer. I can count on my hands, your hands, and all the viewers' hands, and everyone that signed up for our challenges hands, how many times I've met amazing customers and I've become amazing friends with them. Because our onboarding call was the moment we bonded, and I became an extension of their business. I became an extension of their business. It was hard for them to break my handshake. The only time they would cancel is if I was no longer in charge of their account or our service wasn't up to par. And we can only control what we can control, right? So keep that in mind. And when I mentioned to you, when I met you all on day one, I am your business development manager. I am here to serve you. And that's why we're having this conversation in this training. I need you to take that approach with your customer. You're not just a vendor. You're just not a software. You're their business development team. Now, if they're a bigger company, bigger outfit, then that's a little different. They're not going to want you to be. They want you to be the vendor, and that's fine. Know your place, know your role, know your customer. Is that fair? Does that help kind of share why I may be a little snarky direct in my delivery, in my examples? Does that help share that, like, maybe, John, what you do and how you're doing it won't work in my area? We don't work like that in Germany. We don't work like that in Australia. We don't work like that in Spain. We don't work like that in Utah. We don't work like that in California. So that's why I want to give you the context and the big picture around why and how is it important to really get to know your customer during this hour, right? Go ahead and share your feedback and your comments below around that. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there something that you like or you plan on doing during that time to gain and earn their trust? Because if I can't get their cell phone number during that time, then put the shot clock on. They're going to fire me before I leave the door. They don't trust me. They don't trust me. We got to earn the trust, right? Boom. Okay. So the features are here. The review monitoring. So with the review monitoring, we need the Google Business Profile connected. So we need the Google Business Profile login information to be connected to High Level. We need the Facebook business information to be connected to High Level. If there's not a direct connection with that username and password into High Level, it will not be able to get in to pull the data out to put it in High Level, right? And what we're doing here is we want them to go through High Level or your version of High Level without logging into their Google Business Profile each time, right? And you also want insight on the data so you can help tell that story and that progress report. Go ahead and type in the chat progress report. Cool. So response management. I'm going to show y'all the Reviews AI feature. The Reviews AI feature will respond back to your customers' reviews on their behalf based on the sentiment and what you want them to personalize. But in order to do so, Facebook, Google, High Level need to be connected, right? Review request tracking, so important. I'll show you where this is at in our platform. We want to make sure, because right, technology makes mistakes too. We will have a running list of requests that have been sent out to your customers, customers, and what the status is. What is the status after we sent it? Did we receive a review? Did they click on it? What did they do? Now, there is much more detailed reporting, and this is where we get custom. We don't include that custom training because we want to get you fully set up first, but I want you to jot this down. Trigger links. Trigger links, okay? Trigger links is a branded link that when it's clicked on, whether through text or email, it reports that step's been completed and it shares that information or provides the next step, right? So as we get really familiar, we start adding trigger links into our email outreaches for review requests, into our follow-ups, into our nurture campaigns. We're able to then track and see the result of that, right? Awesome. So, examples and best practices, the impact. We went over this already. It's clear. We know that if they have the visibility over what's happening, they're confident, they see the response, they see the result, we're great. We know that if they're available to get us the passwords and the access and they get those reviews and they see those responses, everything is great. Because they bought the review service. They bought our review as a service intro offer. They didn't buy our email marketing. They didn't buy our social media. They didn't buy any other services but our review service. So let's deliver beyond exceptional with our review service. So, sending reviews. We want to show them how to send reviews from their mobile app. Sending reviews from the mobile app is key. And my recommendation is when you have them do the first review request to you, let it be from your mobile, let it be from their mobile app. And here's why. It's easy. It's in the palm of their hands, and they're able to see the functionality and how it works. They'll be able to see it and have that visualization to do it again. Right? So important. And the impact on that is that, I mean, what would be the impact to you? I mean, if you were my customer and I said, hey, Christine, Miss Bennett Clark, do me a favor. Can you please pull out your phone, go to the mobile app that you downloaded? And Miss Bennett Clark says, I didn't download an app. I didn't download it. Like, what app are you referring to? Because that'll happen. That'll happen. And you may be asking, well, why would that happen? Because we included that in the onboarding email. That was one of the steps. Well, folks, customers are busy. Business owners are busy. They have priorities. So maybe you put that in the email, but they didn't get to do it yet. It wasn't the number one priority in their list, right? So it is your job, it's your responsibility to just double confirm by asking them, hey, could you pull out your phone? I want to walk you through this great feature of showing you how this works. Sure, what do I need to do? They got the phone. Go to the app, go to the Lead Connector app. Oh, where's that? They're looking on their phone for a Lead Connector app that they didn't download yet. What does that app look like? Oh, did you download it by chance? Oh, I'm not familiar on how to do that. No problem. So when a situation like that happens during an onboarding call, you just have to find your flow of reset slow-mo. Reset slow-mo, right? Because here's what that's going to do. It's going to either frustrate you, or when you thought everything was almost done, it's just getting started. Because your customer may not be techie. And they said they were, but they're really not that techie. So you have to go their pace now and help them. But you can't leave, or you cannot end the call without that mobile app up and running. Okay? Awesome. Question around high-level mobile app equals Lead Connector. Marcus, no. So high-level mobile app is high-level mobile app. That's like your version, direct version with us. Lead Connector is your customer's version. So you could download the high-level app for you, but don't download the high-level app for your customer. Download the Lead Connector app for your customer. Does that help? Cool? Okay. And Jordan got to it before I did. So I just saw that here. Awesome. So shout out to Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. Sometimes I wonder with Jordan, he's got fast fingers. Holy smokes, you got fast fingers. As I'm saying it, it's already sent. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we send that review request out. You see the screenshot there. This UI, user interface, is clean. It's easy. It's crisp. It's fun. It's get it done, right? It's not complicated. They hit the button, pops up, pick, go. And then here's the kicker. This is where you start to give a little sneak peek of what else you offer. So if you look at this screenshot here on my screen share, It says new opportunity, create invoice, request review, book an appointment, scan business card, add contact, send email, make call, send SMS. Just be prepared. Your customer is going to ask you about that. Please be familiar with it. So make sure you have the app and you're familiar with it, because I'm going to run you through this real brief, right? Send SMS. You will not be able to send an SMS unless you have completed the Lead Connector phone registration, right? SMS requires you to complete the Lead Connector phone registration. The button will not work if it's not done. Make phone call. You will not be able to make a phone call unless you register the Lead Connector phone registration and you get a phone number assigned. So the LC phone, Lead Connector phone system, has a registration for text, but you can instantly get a phone number to call from. Important to share this. So making a call can be done right away. Sending a text requires verification of the business according to the A2P telephone regulations process. Outside of high level, everyone has to do this, okay? Keep those two things in mind. New opportunity, be familiar of where and how that goes. You can go to the help guide, you can watch some videos on it. Create an invoice will work right away. But to send an invoice, you have to have your email connected to send it, or a text message to text it. But you could still create an invoice, but you have to add your services. So like, again, I'm just sharing a little bit of this so you have planted seeds and nothing's a surprise. So, right, creating an invoice, you need to put how much, the product, the service, that's standard, but you got to set it up, right? Request review is literally the only thing that you press a button and you can send the email if it's connected, or you can send a text if it's connected, and that's it. That's why we went with the review request first as a challenge, because you just send a review request to the person and you're done, right? But all these other services are great. Like scan a business card, it'll scan it, it'll create a contact for you. Add a contact, you could do that right away. You put the name, phone number, email, the details, right? And send email. We have like a standard email server connected, but we recommend that you use the Lead Connector email so it's branded to your customer, right? But you can still send like a standard email out, right? Was that helpful? Was that helpful for y'all? Karen Krause says, tip, be familiar with the mobile app so you can answer any questions. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. Y'all are putting some great details here. Ryan Mayer, relationships are key. I agree. Yisa Esperanza, decommission competitor, right? Karen Crowell, decommission the competitor. Awesome. Great guys, scouts, friends. We're on to something here. Perfect. So let's make our way on to the next. So KPIs, right? KPIs. I want you to put yourself as my customer. Let's fast forward to where we're at now. We went through the sales process. We went through the onboarding process. Now we're at the very end of the onboarding process, which is KPIs, right? And let's say we complete the onboarding and now we're live. What would you expect as my customer? What would you expect as my customer that we complete the onboarding, the service is live, I set everything up? What would you expect from my company and I? Going to give you a minute here to type it below. What would you expect the first week, 2 weeks, or month from me and my company, Super Reviews, after we go live? What would you expect? And while y'all are typing that, I'm going to jump on the YouTube here and see the comments real quick, see what we got going on. Tune into the comments. What would you expect the first 30 days as my customer with the review service? I'm charging you $197 a month. You purchase the service and I'm going to help you get reviews. I'm going to make it easy. What would you expect by 30 days in? Got a few answers coming in. Let me just make this here. Where is my Go High Level YouTube? Here we go. Yes. Okay. So Brian Schaller from YouTube says follow-ups with metrics to back up ROI. So Brian, I sign you up. What kind of business are you? Give me a business that you are. Right? Pico Heel, my friend from Germany. Reviews and a good feeling that I'm in the right hands. Darn right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Law firm. So Brian's a law firm, right? So my job, when I stay in contact with Brian, and Hiko, I want you to give me an industry two here when you get a second. When I meet with Brian, it's maybe a small law firm, right? The KPIs that I'm going to hold him accountable to is making sure that he is putting in, or we've put in all of his past clients' cases, their names, their first name, and their email or phone number into the system, right? To make sure that we even have that in there. Because here's what customers will do sometimes. Oh, John, I need to call up my case or this this program to get everything exported, right? So now you got to put that on your follow-up list. Because if you don't have the list, you don't have review requests going out, right? But at the very least, we want to send out that one review request. So at the end of the 30 days, I put a reminder for 4 days later to follow up with it. Brian then tells me, oh, John, I haven't had a chance yet. Hey, Brian, do you have a quick few minutes now? I'm more than happy to jump on a 3-way call with you. Let's get so-and-so company on the line. Let's get this Excel sheet from them. Let's import it so we can get this going, right? Don't assume they're going to do this on their own because they're busy, especially attorneys, right? So KPI for them is to make sure they get you the list. KPI for you is to make sure the list is in there and you're sending out the review requests. Now, if at any point this law firm or these, so law firms could change. Like you could have a big personal injury law firm. You could have a trades law firm. You could just have, municipal court law firm, right? That they're doing, like, they have fast cases coming in. So make sure, like, the clients you get, they have traffic, they have customers, they have influx. Because if you have a customer that only has one customer a year, you're working with one review request a year, right? So let's just say Brian is a municipal court law firm, and he does some other notary stuff in his office. So we have customer base. We load in 130 customers or 50 customers or 25 customers, send those review requests out. We set up a reminder to check on the status. And now we're able to say, hey, before you started with 2 reviews on your Google business profile, now you have 15. Those 15 came from this process. Let's look at the portal. You show the log of where it came from, how it went out. That's a great KPI, right? Maybe simple, but it's practical and real, and it's working with what you have. So Brian, if you have any questions on that, definitely throw in there, right? Plant for a tree example, BR code to a so Hiko, any experience with NGOs plant a tree, for example, as an incentive to give a review? So Hiko, with your question, yes, tying in review requests with philanthropy, nonprofits, especially during the holidays, great causes like the restaurants, the fast food. They'll say, "Hey, would you like to donate?" And they put your name on the wall. That works great, right? If that customer base has that type of heart or interest, that is a supplemental approach. You also want to go another approach is more a direct approach, because not everybody wants to plant a tree and not everybody looked at that as a real thing, right? Some people look at it as, oh, that's just, they're not going to do it. Like there's different mindsets out there, folks. So great point. It works in different parts of the country, states, people, business classes, customer classes, all that good stuff. Let's see here. So, we have a lot of, like, these are just some examples. Colleen threw here on YouTube. My kid's dentist office has a review challenge every month. They pick one review that came in that month. They give them a $100 gift card to the restaurant they're choosing. That's a cool way to do it. That's a cool way to do it, because you're spotlighting, you're creating a community around your patients, and it gives you the hope that there's a possibility. See, people don't want to enter to win unless there's a real possibility, right? And they don't want to enter to win, or they don't believe it's possible to win until they see other winners. Like, look at our example. We said we're going to give away a gift. We gave away a gift the last 4 days. So you have to make it public and visual that you're actually doing those things, and it helps amazingly. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you all here on YouTube for just jumping in and collaborating with each other. Look, like I said before, services, companies, they're missing the ball if they're not doing what we're doing here. We're creating internally a community of people that have the commonality of high level, that enjoy, that are smart, that are helpful, that are curious. So thank you for participating. All right, let's keep it moving here. So let's monitor these KPIs. So look, high level is always advancing their features. We run off of the skateboard model. We're going to get the best version of the product that our customers, the marketers, will feel comfortable, confident, excited to provide to their customers. And then when their customers get on the skateboard and they fall off faster or they stay on longer, we grab that feedback and we make it better. So with all of you on the reputation management feature, my ask of you, as you're doing your KPI reports, as you're doing your follow-ups, share the feedback with us of what your customers need, and we will put it on our to-do list. I mean it, and we've seen it happen. And anyone that's been in this high-level community for more than 30 days or 60 days, they've seen it themselves. We take fast action. Our chief technology officer, Varun, all his developers. If you haven't met our co-founders, Sean, Robin, Varun, these are great people. They take this serious. They're probably watching this right now. Right? They're probably in a group right now commenting. They're probably in a DM responding. So when I say share your feedback, I mean it, not for me, but for the team high level behind the scenes. So go ahead and type in the chat wherever you're at, team high level, I got feedback coming your way. Team high level, count on me to give you feedback, right? Because I'm going to expect, and they are too. So here's what my recommendation is when you're doing these KPI reports, and I'm kind of going a little long-winded on this because there's not a lot of KPIs to talk about, right? There's not a lot of KPIs to talk about, right? This is straight and direct. But set a 30-day reminder. Anytime you meet a client, you set your next appointment with that client before you leave. Now, you don't have to set the appointment for next week. So if I meet with you today, Brian, and I'm at the law firm, virtual or in person, I'm saying, Brian, today's the 25th. We're gonna connect by Zoom, August 25th, right? Then I go to my next appointment. Let's say that's a Zoom meeting. I meet Hiko. Hiko, today's the 25th. We're gonna meet in your time zone on the 27th of next month, right? I'm not going to book my 25th with 10 people in one day. I want to do at least 3 follow-up appointments a day, a max. I want to leave room for new business, for new relationships, for new appointments. 2 to 3 follow-ups, 2 to 3 touch points is perfect. I can have fun with it. I used to enjoy visiting my customers because we would pick up where we left off and they would learn and want more, right? Every time you do it on a follow-up, it's an opportunity to share what's new and for them to share what they want more. I need this. I want this. I see this. Can we do that? Don't dread the follow-ups. I'll give you a quick example. As an amateur in my early approach, I used to hide from my customers because I was afraid they were going to cancel. So I'd sign them up, give them everything, and then I would disappear like Houdini and hope that they didn't call me for a complaint. Don't do that. Be open. Put the systems in place that they can educate themselves. And at high level, we give you so much content, so much training. Maybe it requires you just to copy it, throw it on your own webpage, rebrand it a little bit, and make it yours. I have friends, customers, clients of high level here that they send RSS feeds to themselves. A new update comes up. I'm looking on my Facebook feed. How did this person know that so quick? It just came out, right? Shout out to Christian John if you're tuned in, right? Christian John has RSS feeds that shoot to him directly. He's the first to tell all his network. New feature came out before a video comes out. So cool. You should be that information source. Track to tell a story, grab the screenshots, have a folder, throw it in your CRM notes. Keep receipts because it tells a story and customers forget. Customers forget, right? You don't have to go fancy, but make sure you have the, remember the prospecting tool. Put that on the chat, prospecting tool. The prospecting tool report that you initially sold them with. Remember, I sold you with the prospecting tool. These are your gaps. This is what you need. This is why you need it. This is what we got to do. This is our plan. That's the before. Then you have the 10 days, 30 days, 60 days updates. Those are there as well. And now you're telling a complete story. And there's your case study in the making. Case studies sell high ticket opportunities. Case studies sell high ticket opportunities, right? If you read any sales books, any high ticket sales, it's based on testimonials and case studies, right? I'm moving on. So as we go through this, the invite goal and reviews received is another great KPI. Right? So our goal, if we have, so here's how we start to calculate some of this math, some of this strategy, right? So I'm going to pull out the calculator. I don't want you to think I'm doing the math in my head here, right? Because I'm not. So let's say, give me a high volume business. I'm looking at YouTube right now. I'm looking at YouTube. Give me a high volume business, the business that just has a lot of customers every day coming in. Throw that in the chat. And in Facebook too, throw it in the chat, right? So, okay. So let's go this route because I got perfect. So I got here a car wash and pizza delivery. So let's go here. Actually, we had a guest on one of our workshops, amazing gentleman, and he owned a pizza shop as one of his businesses. E-commerce, I got you. And, you know, he uses high level for the business. And he uses many different things, right? But volume is what helps, because when you have a high volume, that means you have high frequency of messages, conversations, follow-ups, recommendations, and reviews. So let's go here. Let's say, for example, we're a small pizza shop, typically what's around, and they have Uber Eats, they have DoorDash, they have all these different services. And the last I checked, these different services, they don't give you any of the information. They'll take, let's say, 20 to 30% of the commission or the sale, and then they keep all the information. So here's a strategy that you could include. You make a landing page with a form, or I'm going to go over some collaterals in a minute. I'm going to go over some collaterals, and it's going to be like, oh, snap. You're going to go ahead and type in the chat, oh, snap. Right? When you see these collaterals that I'm going to share with you, they're already done. All you got to do is bring it to the printer. Let's say you have your customer go to like a Staples or an Office Depot or a local printer. They just got to print it on some nice paper or nice little flow, and they're good to go, right? The QR code. You don't even need the form; just do the QR code, right? And it collects the data. But here's why I say what I say. With a pizza shop, if you don't train your pizza shop owner to take ownership of the person's first name, phone number, and email, if you don't train, keyword train, with patience, your customer to collect the name, phone number, and email, then this will not work. And they will always be dependent on Uber Eats, DoorDash, or any of these other services in your local area that keep the information and don't share it, right? Our goal is to build a list. They build a list, they could remarket, retarget, and ask for reviews. So that being said, they're building the list, they're able to send reviews. Now, you have this pizza shop that maybe they deliver 150 customers a day. It could be anything, a sandwich, a soda, catering order, food, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just 150 orders a day, right? 150 orders a day. Let's say the average purchase, because pizza keeps going up. The price of cheese goes up. The price of just eating out goes up. Everything goes up. The average order out of 150 customers is, let's say, 150 times $25. I spend more than that if I buy some wings. If you're a big wings fan, how many of you like chicken wings with your pizza? Go ahead and type below if you like chicken wings, hot, mild, or hot, in the chat. If you like pizza, how do you like your pizza? You like pepperoni? You like shrimp on it? You like pineapple, ham, plain? Go ahead and type in the chat. How do you like your pizza and how do you like your wings? Right? So we get 150 customers times, let's say, $28. That's $4,200 of customer money coming in. $4,200 of customer money coming in, right? And we got 0 reviews. Zero reviews. That's a problem. Now, we do that ballpark amount for 3 days on the weekend, right? 3 days on the weekend, right? So that's $12,600 of revenue Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That doesn't include like football season and soccer season, all that, right? So we have coming in $12,600 in revenue from these orders of about $28 an order, average order, and we have 0 to show for it for reviews, right? So that's, I gave you the money, $12,600. 150 times 3 days is 450 reviews. 450 customers. In a perfect world, everyone leaves a review. You leave a review, you leave a review, you leave a review. Pizza for you, chicken wings for you, right? In a perfect world, things aren't perfect. So 450 customers times, let's say, 15% of our customers, right? Times 0.15. At the bare minimum, my fellow service providers, we should be getting our customers 67 reviews out of 450 orders. Your customers should be getting 67 reviews by the time Sunday ends. Because it's 450 orders that came from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we just want 15% of those people to leave us a review. Now, let's say out of that 450, because we have a system, we have a process, we have us in the mix. Like, we're their business development marketing team. So we got this down packed. So because we're in the mix, out of that 450 customers that they have, we bring it up to 30%. Well, John, how's that possible? I thought you never ask. Here's why it's possible. Because we know that when we send the first review request out, Through email, they may not see it or open it. They may not even click it. We know that when we send another email of review request by text, we know they'll at least open the text and maybe they click it, but they don't have or want to leave a review at the moment. But it doesn't stop there. We do that with 450 customers, that process. And then if they don't click it or leave a review, we send them a follow-up in 2 days. We send them another nudge in 5 days. We set up what's called a cadence, an automation tree, an process that just stays in a soft, kind, generous, courteous, help us, we would appreciate. We're a small family-owned pizzeria. Without you, we wouldn't be rated #1. Our wings are inspired by our amazing neighbors. You got to add some kindness, some swag, some excitement. For all sakes, give a prize out, right? But this is up to you to teach your customers. So, like Colleen had mentioned, her dentist does a deal. Like Hiko had mentioned, maybe you do something with planting trees. You got to give an incentive to what your customers like. I promise you, with the pizza shop, your customers will love a free large pizza, a free large order of wings. What do y'all think about that? I mean, is that helpful? We got to get creative, y'all, because here's what it is. They're signing up with you because of you. They're signing and staying with you because of the software. They're enjoying and growing because of your strategy, your creativity, and the trust they give you, and the knowledge you have that you help implement. All of this, and this is why I say that you start in with the core offer, the initial offer, and then you expand into growing the account with additional services. But you can't get that far if you haven't got this first. Share with me your feedback. Share with me your questions. Share with me your thoughts. I'm going back to Facebook here for a second. Right? Right? And there are a couple questions about pricing of the product. You could price it whatever you want, right? But like $197 is a fair price because look at all the work, look at all the investment, look at all the time, look at all the relationship, the value you're going to be giving. Now take this same concept I shared with the pizza shop, a car wash. See, this is what I had mentioned back in day 3 with our local market dynamics. I'm going to refer back to the local market dynamics on day 3. Your area may originally have been very wholesome, very country, very spacious, very foresty. And over time, businesses have moved in, businesses have stayed, they've left, but the structure of the business and the service model of the businesses have evolved. For example, how many of you in your area have car washes that used to be where you wash your own car, right? In a little cubby area, like a little space, but now they are self-service, big, beautiful ones where it's like 15 bays on one side, another 15 on another. They even give you the towels. They give you the free vacuum. I mean, they're big, beautiful car washes that here I'm going to say it and it frustrates me. They're self-service. I don't want to do it myself. I want someone to just do it for me. Do it for me. There's car washes right now, folks, that they don't even clean the inside. You got to clean your own inside. So why do I say that? Because if you're working with a small business that does everything that their competitors don't do, those are great reasons to get reviews from them, asking for their feedback. If you love that we clean the inside of your car, if you love that we're the traditional car wash that you enjoy, please leave us a review. We would love to have others know how you feel. We're going to show you how we give people the opportunity to share a survey or feedback to raise their hand if there's a problem. So, Christine, great segue. I'll get into that part here. Great point, great example, great segue. So, We'll keep this going here. But again, to Christine's point, don't say, hey, if you leave a 5-star review, you enter to win. Absolutely not. Leave us a testimonial. You have a chance in our appreciation gift for everyone that had entered, right? And you go from there, right? So that's my opinion. That's my strategy. That's my recommendation, right? Everybody's different, right? High Level doesn't have a set standard or a set certain way to do this. We leave it up to you as marketers to do your research and due diligence in your city, state, region, industry, right? And your customers' knowledge of what they can or can't do, right? That's why we got to keep the price at least $197, because you're expected to think for you, for your customer, and for others. So let's keep it there. But did you guys get the math, right? So let's just say here we got the car wash. Car wash sees 600 cars a day. They see 600 cars, whether it's just to do the quick self-service vacuuming, whether it's to do the actual quick wash yourself. They see 600 vehicles a day. So 600 vehicles on a minimum, that doesn't include the weekend. So 600 vehicles Monday through Thursday, right, is 4 days, right? That's 2,400 cars, right? 2,400 cars. Jot that down. Someone type in 2,400 cars, right? Now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Friday, they see, let's say, 700 cars, right? Because Friday night, crew is right. They're getting ready to wash their cars to head out for the weekend, right? And then Saturday, there's an influx because of weather. Like Saturdays are nice sunny days in, let's say, Arizona or wherever it is. They see 900 cars. We're up to 1,600 cars. And then Sunday is another beautiful day, and it's a summer Sunday. They see another 800 cars. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they see 2,400 cars. Then they saw Monday through Thursday, 2,400 cars. That's 4,800 cars, right? They have QR code. They have signage. They're collecting phone numbers and emails. They have a contest or awareness campaigns. It's on their website. They have memberships. A lot of these customers are recurring because they have like a monthly membership. So they have a database. So that being said, in a given week, they're seeing 4,800 cars. We're going to talk about building a list now. In a given week, 1 week, this scenario, 4,800 cars, 1 week, times 4, 19,200 cars they see in 1 month. With the math I just gave you, 4,800 cars a week times 4 weeks is 19,200 cars a month. Over the course of 6 months, 19,200 times 6 is 115,200 cars. See, if you haven't thought about going after car washes, you got the math, you got the positioning, you got the strategy, you got the example right here, right now. Everybody here, my challenge to you is to get at least one customer, whether it's your first, second, or fourth, in this challenge of a car wash. Because in 6 months, working with you, building a list, getting reviews, they'll have 115,200 names, phone numbers, emails, right? If that's the average volume, depending on where they're at, let's just use this as an example. And then if you have a 25% review redemption rate times 0.25, 28,800 reviews. Drop the calculator. We just dropped the calculator. Forget drop the mic. We just dropped the calculator. How do you feel, or how would you feel if you were my customer as a car wash and within 6 months you had 28,800 reviews? Let's say you just had 1% of that. How would you feel? What do you think that would do for your business in your area if you had that many reviews? That's what I want you to keep in the back of your mind. So we're going to continue on here. Thank you all for commenting, for sharing your feedback. Let me know your example. Let me know if you're going to go after some car washes. Let me know if you understand the framing, the story, the strategy, the why, the how, the what, the benefit. Let me know in the comments. This is for y'all. This is for y'all. Okay? So, that being said, these reviews, 28,000, as 100 and some thousand lists contacts are created. It's in the white label version. Let's call your business super reviews. It's in super reviews, right? We'll just call that your business for now. They have 130,000 contacts. They're seeing 130,000 requests. They're seeing 28,800 reviews redeemed coming in. They're seeing their score. They're seeing their insights. They're seeing growth. They can't believe it. And now you're using that data as part of your case study to position and help them grow other parts of their business. And the impact on the business is that you're maintaining a super authoritative reputation, and you're showing them how it was done, right? And then managing these reviews as they get these thousands of reviews coming in, because you're not doing this by hand. This is done automatically. As long as you feed the machine will do the rest as set up. So as these reviews coming in, you're going to see these reviews. The reviews will come in, you'll see them, and then the review AI response will respond on your behalf and your customers. So the AI will reply on its own. How about that? John, I have to respond to 28,000 reviews? Absolutely not. You have to keep in touch with it. You got to keep in touch with it, but you don't got to respond. You just got to set up your AI reviews tool to do it. Got to set up your AI's reviews tool to do it, right? And then your customers. Now we have a bigger customer. Now they're growing. Now they have a marketing manager. You're working with their marketing manager. Now maybe they're a franchise. So here's the pro tip. If you work with a franchise, document everything, because they're going to tell their franchisee partners, they're going to tell their franchisor, or the franchisor is going to ask about you. And you have the formula, right? You have the formula. You're the chef. Don't give away the recipe. Just give away an overview and process of how you cook it, but not the recipe, right? Because your intellectual strategy property approach is based off of your training from us, from me, from each other, from blogs, from best practices, from YouTube videos, and you're putting it to play and you're seeing it in action, right? Awesome. So now we get all these hundreds of reviews, thousands of reviews. What do we want to do with reviews? Like when you get a review or someone gives you a nice compliment, or someone sends you something, like they send you a nice gift in the mail. They send you flowers. They send you a birthday card. They send you a thank you card. They give you an award, a plaque. What do you typically naturally want to do? Go ahead and throw in the chat. When someone sends you a gift basket, a thank you card, a gift card, an award, what do you naturally want to do? Well, as the answers come in, I'll tell you what society, in my opinion, has kind of taught us what to do. It's taught us to tell a story on social media. It's taught us to tell a story out loud. So when you get an award from where you're at, or you give an award, right? Or you get a gift, a fruit basket, or you get some swag as a gift, you want to take a picture with it. You want to share it. You want to post something about it, because it's a proud moment. When your children get a gift, they get an award. It's a proud moment. These reviews are proud moments. Write that in the chat for me. Now, remember I said, what we type is what we process. I would have you type everything, but you would run away from this live. I'm not going to do it to you or me, right? I need the engagement to keep me going. So these are proud moments for business owners. So if you ever go to a business owner's business, or you're at an event, or you're at a family, they're always going to talk about their business. Oh man, we got some new shirts. Hey, Joey, what you been up to? Oh, man, you have no idea. I got the team some new shirts, got them new hats, got my lead tech a new truck, got the gals at the office and my manager, got him a new AC for his spot, got the team all new chairs. I just got everybody the new iPhone 22s. Huh? I just got everybody the new iPads or the new Android phone, the new Galaxies. Really? Man, these guys deserve it. They do a lot, right? They tell a story because it's a proud moment, right? Proud moment happen when there's an impact on revenue, when there's an impact on emotion, where there's an impact on progress completed. They've been working hard to get what you're getting them now. And you've been doing it systematically with a proven process for them. And they're wondering how. Because we know what we're doing. We have a tool. We know what we're doing. That's it. Now, how does that lead into this? They want to show off. So we've created a feature that you got to press a few buttons so they could show off their reviews on their website. They could show off their reviews on their social media. Make sure they show off those reviews. Not just on Google, not just on TripAdvisor, on their website and on their social media. Throw it in the chat. It's got to be shared on website and social media. Website and social media. If it's not shared there, it didn't happen. You ever? I went on vacation. I didn't see any photos. Oh, I got a new car. I didn't see any photos. Oh, I went on that. I did this. I went there. I didn't see any videos. I didn't see that. When? You're lying. We're like in storytelling mode in this generation. In my opinion, more and more and more. If you don't show it, it didn't happen. You don't show it, it didn't happen. So let's help them show it. So I got to switch a screen. How y'all feeling? How are you all feeling? Let me know in the comments below. With what you've received, how are you feeling? Feeling good? Little overwhelmed? Little shocked? Little surprised? Pumped up? A little scared? How are you feeling? Why is it important? Because you're my customer, right? I'm here as your business development manager to help you, guide you, support you. So I need to know how you feel so we can go ahead and add systems and process to support you. So when you come to these trainings, it's worth your time. It's got to be worth your time. So let's continue on, right? We have a relationship with Yext. Yext.com offers a service. Now that I remember, for over, I think like 8 or 9 years, I've used Yext before Yext was a thing. Yext used to be like this hidden, little SEO conversation tool that we would say, we'll put you on 60 different sites and it'll do this and it'll do that, right? But Yext has become more and more relevant because of NAP, N-A-P. Throw it in the chat, N-A-P, not M-O-P. I'm not singing a song. N-A-P. N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, P as in Paul. NAP. What does NAP stand for? Give a guess. Give a guess. What does NAP stand for? Because they're going to ask you, why is this important? Why is it an extra $99? Why is it an extra $50? Why do I need this? What does NAP mean? Okay, see some answers coming in? YouTube, right? So that being said, we have within the agency view a super discounted price with no minimum. So typically companies will require you to have minimum licenses. So if you want to upsell it for $5 or $15 or make it a core service for an extra $100, there's value to it. Now, my recommendation or my tip is if you're going to sell the Yext as your main service for $150 or $200, make sure you give some added value with time and process so that Yext tool is not the core or what they're looking for all the time. The Yext is a little bit like a set it and forget it, because you put your name, address, phone number, it syncs with the internet, the authority sites that matter. And there's a handful of other things that it does. It allows you to upload photos into your master profile, pushes it out to those authority sites, update your hours, add banners, add links, videos. It's pretty much it's a listings management tool. And there's other features that they're always adding. But if you were to sell that for a premium and somebody were to call up Yext and say, hey, well, can I get this cheaper? You want to have a redundancy plan where this is part of the bigger offering. So, Chase, our product director of product marketing, he always recommends that we do line items for our services. So like Yext would be a line item on your invoice. Reviews, reputation would be a line item on your invoice. Let's say, for example, social media management, social media planner, a line item on your invoice. So if somebody were to decide to cancel something, they're not canceling everything. They're canceling one thing, right? Because we want to keep this like a utility bill, not because we just want to make money, but because these services have a value that require time, expertise, and fulfillment. Keep that in mind, right? So Yext is a great tool. You have ability to learn, use, but the name, address, phone number, here's why it's important to the internet. Google, search engines, countries, people that travel, people that are looking for a service provider want the name of the business that they're looking for to be the name of the actual business, not an alternative, not like a sneaky this plus another name. They want the actual name of the business they're looking for to show up. Second, they want the address that they're going to hit the navigation button to or send something to be the actual address of the actual business name that they're looking for. And then the phone number is when they click the phone button and they call, whether it's for an emergency veterinarian clinic, an emergency dentist appointment, or just an overall, are you open, are you available? They want the phone number to be the right phone number for the right business where they plan on going to the right address. That's why NAP is so key. It's like having the wrong name and social security number and your and your sex or where you were born on your birth certificate wrong. That would be a problem. That would be a problem. So look at it like that. This is like the online birth certificate. Like this name, address, phone number, your name, your social security number, where you were born. Like it just verifies you as a business. And why is that important? Because customers want to go to the right place and do business with who they intend to. Awesome. So service fulfillment, ensuring your clients get their needs met. You're doing regular check-ins, right? The impact of this is relationship. You're always building a relationship. Always building a relationship, right? So the login screen, right? You can brand this login screen. Pro tip, use our client login portal feature. They're working with you, you're a small business, but they want to feel like they're working with somebody who knows exactly what they're doing, what they're used to. That's why the big box stores, that's why the big marketing companies, that's why the big advertisers, they always win against smaller businesses because they just have a little bit more of that cutting edge look, feel, and delivery. But who's to say you can't complement that and just do a little bit of that version of yours, right? Here's the Lead Connector app help guide, right? help.leadconnectorhq.com. This is where you want to go. Give this to them. This is how you bookmark, right? This is an example of bookmarking. You drag it down, you bookmark it right there, you bookmark it on the desktop. Make it easy for them, right? And let me switch this slide here. And then last, this is what the Lead Connector mobile app looks like in the store. This is the Lead Connector logo. And then in the Apple and Google store, these are the images. Sometimes we get like these weird apps that they try to mimic ours to trick customers. I don't know what the intent is, to be honest. I don't know what the intent is, but I've typed in different apps before, and I'm like, oh man, there's like 4 different apps with the same name, but the one only is the one I want. It's almost like the name, address, phone number example I just gave, right? There's people, it's like a weird, oh, pick me, and well, if it doesn't do what I want to do, I'm going to uninstall it, right? But here's the thing. I will uninstall it and I'll find the other one. But here's what you may not have the chance. If your customer doesn't do it with your guidance and they do it wrong, they're not going to do it again on their own, right? They're just not going to keep doing it over and over. It's like you get one chance. You get one first impression, right? So make that first impression amazing. Make that first impression amazing, right? So I want to do a little pulse check here. Go ahead and type in the chat below, whether you're on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, we're live too there, but you probably only saw a portion of it because how it works. But if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and type below, where are you at in the challenge? And here are some examples of some responses. I'm just starting today. I just finished watching the last couple of live videos. I just finished the courses in the university, or I'm on day 2 or 3 or 4 of the courses in the university, the playbook, in the actual course. I completed my setup. My website is up. If your reputation management website is live, throw it in the link below. Is your reputation management website that we gave you in your snapshot complete, is live? Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat for me, right? Let me know, are you fully up and running and you're in acquisition mode? You're in sales and prospecting mode. Because here, I want to give you the vision of the challenge. A perfect challenger at their own pace has watched all the live sessions, and they'll catch up today. If they're in another country, Australia, another time zone, they'll catch up today. They've completed all the courses in the playbook in the university. They've set up their white label domain, which is the app, theirdomainname.com. It's up. It's connected to their reputation management website. Their website has their logo, their phone number, all of their items functional. They've gone through their site and they've done some tests to make sure it's customer-facing friendly, right? Now, they're at the point of going out and about to their dream list, maybe close friends, previous friends. They're communicating. They're sending out messages now. They're using the scripts in the collateral as an inspiration or as a guide. They're networking. They're talking. Maybe they now have a calendar of virtual events they're going to attend. They have a calendar of in-person networking events they're going to attend. At this point of what I'm describing, they're looking to get their first paying customer. Now, first paying customer may be a little overwhelming. So let's push it back a little bit. They're looking to get their first qualified candidate. They're looking to get their first qualified appointment. They're looking to do their first demo. They're looking to do their first discovery call. If they get to the first appointment, the first demo, the first discovery call, you're on the right path. You send me a message, you tag me in the Facebook group, John, I got one on the sinker. Got one on the sinker, John. And I'll say, what do you got? I got a chiropractor, I got a plumber, I got a pizza shop, I got a car wash. I did the appointment. They confirmed it. I have a demo. I'm going to go there in person. I sent them this. We went over that. They're ready to buy. What do I do? You tag me, John. How do I collect payment? You tag me ASAP, and I will help you, and I will guide you, or I will get one of my colleagues, one of my superhumans on Team High Level to get you a hand right away. Right? Now, keep in mind, I'm on Eastern time zone. and I'm in bed by 9:30. So try to keep it within that time zone, please. Or do your best, or just go to our live chat. If you know you got something coming up, throw it in. Okay, so here's my ask of you all, right? We're gonna get real tactical here and real practical. How many of you have appointments already to go? How many of you have conversations that are now leading into appointments to talk and show about your reputation management? Throw it in the links below, right? Who's got appointments or conversations scheduled? Throw it in the link below. I want you to share that in our Facebook group. In our personal Facebook group that you're in, I want you to share that. I don't want you to share your customers' names or your prospects' names. Don't share their businesses. Just share that you got something on the line. And myself, my colleagues, team, each other, we're going to root you on, and then we're going to open up a conversation around it. Hey guys, I think I forgot how to do this, or what's the best way to do that, or what should I include on this? Let's have strategic, practical conversations in the group. That deal? You guys okay with that? Awesome. Throw it in the comments. Let me know how you feel, right? But everything I said has to be pretty much 90 to 98% done in order to get to this step. All right? But moving forward, we're on day 4. Now, here's what I want you to expect moving forward. Tomorrow, day 5, we're going to do retention and ascension, okay? Now, we've completed the challenge. In a perfect world, 1, 2, 3, 5, 15 of you get your first customer. Whether it's a family, friend, existing customer that you upsell, everything counts. Everything counts, okay? Now, if you don't get it by Friday, that first customer, fine. I'm not saying don't work at it. I'm just saying don't let it get to you. Next week, we're going to continue the conversation. We're not going to be live, but we're going to continue the conversation in the group, and we're going to root each other on. And I'm going to ask you to hold each other accountable and someone to take the lead on getting the daily appointments. Who has appointments for today? Who has appointments for this week? You guys want an accountability partner? Have an accountability group, right? So here's what I want you to do. I'm getting a little strategic here, right? So we're past time, right? And I already told my colleagues, I already told our awesome leaders behind the scenes that this is our debut of our 5 days reviews challenge, and I'm going to be just a little bit over. So if we get any complaints for me going a little bit over, it's because I just want to make sure we give everybody everything they need and that the information is received well. So may I go another 10 minutes? Can I go another 10 minutes? If you're okay with me extending another 10 minutes, I'll go for it and I'll make it worth it. If not, I'll go. Give me the okay to go 10 more minutes. Throw it in the chat below. And I'm going to throw the timer on and we'll keep it moving. And if you got to go, I understand. If you got to go, I understand. You can watch the replay. But just keep an eye on where you left off. All right, we're good to go. Hey, Siri, put a timer for 10 minutes. All right, so that being said, this coming week, I need you all to follow the accountability train. In the group, we're going to ask each other. Someone's going to just take the leadership role, say, hey, for today, who's got appointments and who's got appointments for the week? Starts on Monday. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Just get the conversation going, right? Then I'm going to prepare a little accountability support group here for all of us. So if you use Instagram, right, go ahead and type below your Instagram profile. If you use Instagram, type your Instagram handle below, right? And I want all of you that are live right now to follow that Instagram profile that shows up on your screen. I want you to show support by following that profile that shows up on the comments on the screen. And here's why. I'm going to go over a handful of bonuses that you all are going to have to be able to use to start building your brand, to attract and leave clues of who you are and what you do, right? So go ahead and throw your Instagram handles. I only say Instagram because it's popular. Instagram is popular. There's a lot of small businesses on there, right? And it's easy to follow. Like with Facebook, sometimes you like request, and then if you're not in the area, you don't have the option to request them, right? Sometimes LinkedIn is just like a little bit too big of a business, so you gotta like know their email. Instagram right now is like a hidden gem. I mean, it's always been a hidden gem, but like it's easy to follow and send a message. You can even call real quick. So throw your handles below. I'm going to get to showing you these collaterals. All right. So we got 7 minutes and 57 seconds left. I got to get moving. I'm going to share my screen here. And it is acting up. Give me a second. Got some technical difficulties. Let me let this move around here real quick. All right. I got to do something here to get this tab open. All right. I got to open up a new tab. Of course, everything here just froze on me. So bear with me. Okay. So here's what I want to do here in the meantime, because this froze. And of course, when the goodies come out, it froze. So in the membership course, if you do not have access to the membership course yet, if you don't have access to the membership course yet, say, I don't have access to the membership course. Let us know in the chat if you do not have access yet, because you're going to need it to get through the collaterals, right? You're going to need it to get to the collaterals. Hold on here. You're going to need it to get to the collaterals. On the bottom portion, because we got some technical difficulties, on the bottom portion of the collateral of the course, there are collaterals. There is a white label video of the software that you can use online, on your page, send out through text as needed. There is a demo of the software doing review requests. There is in the collateral section, there is a scripts, a set of scripts for outbound outreach, familiar outreach, inbound response, inbound outreach. There is also social media posts that were created for you to put your branding on. They're all made through Canva. So it's quick edit, plug in, get it going, right? In there is also, we just added the Canva editable Chamber of Commerce BNI PowerPoint in there for you to put your branding on and tell a story and educate a room in person or virtually, right? You have in there as well your lead magnet audit response. So you can go ahead and give them I think it's like a 10-page PDF of just the benefits of reviews, what they do, why they do it, just an information. People love information. So we give you a nice, beautifully colored, created information kit to send out, right? In addition, you have in there as well a set of outbound emails, set of outbound text messages. All of this you can go ahead and add into your high level as part of your outreach campaigns. In the reputation management playbook, it'll also be labeled 5 days challenge review. It will all be on the very, 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 very bottom. And it's all for you to use immediately. So, with 3 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock, we went over a lot today. That's for sure. And with everything we went over, it's important to remind you that none of this means anything if you don't implement. If you don't implement, this means nothing. So go in the chat below and type in, I will implement. Or I need help with implementation. Or I'm getting ready to take on the challenge, right? Because you may be just brand new. So go ahead and type that below. I'm going to implement. I need help implementing. I'm ready to take on the challenge. And starting tomorrow, I want to know, and I want to see all of you. If you haven't yet, introduce yourself in the Facebook group. It's the 5 Days Challenge Facebook group. Introduce yourself and continue the conversation with each other. Tomorrow's another great day. Go ahead and finish up your comments below. We're going to be pulling a winner tomorrow for today's engagement. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern. We have another day ahead of us as we close out Friday with the Reputation 5-Day Challenge.